dundai, 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 dai. 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Dundai, 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 dai. Dundai, 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 dai. Shabbat shalom. Shalom Park, friends, guests. All are welcome on this special Shabbat. We're going to do Shabbat Purim. So we'll abbreviate some of our prayer service so that we can get an abbreviated version of the Megillah in. Okay? Sound good? Page 2 of the Shalom Park Siddur. I'm going to move my stand a little bit here. Thank you. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose and meaning. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we live in such a way that this Shabbat fulfills its promise to us. Let us sing joyfully to God a new song. Shiru l'Adonai ho haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. The earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai ho haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth be glad. Let the seas roar and all within it thunder. Adonai malach tegel haaretz yismechu iyim rabim. Anan v'arafel sevivav tzedek u'mishpat mechon kis'o. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright in heart. Exalt in Adonai, you righteous, and give thanks to God's holy name. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. On page 6, we invite in the Sabbath bride. Ya la 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 chadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabbalah lechadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabbalah la 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 shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmianu el hamayuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemol tiferet v'liti la 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 chadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabbalah lechadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabbalah la 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 likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki b'makor habaracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'asa b'makshavatehi la 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 chadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabbalah lechadodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabbalah la 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 la. We rise as we are able, physically or spiritually, to greet the bride. Oh, Iva Shalom, Hateret Bala, Tam B'Simcha V'Tochala, Toch Emunei Am Segula, kala. Pnei Shabbat ni Kabbalah, lechadadi ligrat kala. Pnei Shabbat ni Kabbalah, la 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 la. Please be seated. The Psalm for Shabbat. We're on page 10. L'Adonai, U'lizameh l'shimcha elyon, l'hagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatecha baleilot. Yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la, yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la, yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la, yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la la. Page 12. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall thrive like the cedars of Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. They shall flourish in the courts of our God. In their old age they shall still produce fruit. They are still full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, our rock, in whom there is no wrong. Middle of page 13. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ha'ma'avir yom u'mevi laila, ha'mavdil bein yom u'vein laila, Adonai tzva'ot shemo. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way in which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of tide, of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. On page 16, you offered your people Israel everlasting love by teaching us Torah and offering us the mitzvot. Therefore, Adonai, we will rejoice in your love. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. Page 17. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot vein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvish arecha You shall make for yourself tzitzit on the corners of your garment throughout the ages. Tzitzit are a reminder to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. God led us out of Egypt and across the Sea of Reeds to the other side, where we sang praises of joy. Michamocha Belim Adonai, Mikamocha Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Sefele, Nora Tehilot, O Sefele, Malchutecha Ra'uvanecha, Bokei Ayam, Lifnei Moshe, Ze'eli Anu Ve'amaru, Adonayim Loch Le'lam Va'ed, Michamocha Belim Adonai, Mikamocha Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Sefele, Nora Tehilot, O Sefele, V'nemar Kifad Adonai, Et Yaakov, Ugoalo Miyad Hazak Mimenu, Baruch Atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Michamocha Belim Adonai, Mikamocha Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Sefele, Nora Tehilot, O Sefele. Bottom of 23. Help us, O God, to lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace, and guide us with your good counsel. As we give thanks for the Sabbath day, Vishamru, page 24. Vishamru, B'nai Yisrael, et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, L'dur tambarit olam, B'nai uvein, B'nai Yisrael, B'nai Yisrael, Od hi le'olam, V'shamru, B'nai Yisrael, et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, L'dur tambarit olam, Ki sheshet yamim, Asa Adonai, et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz, v'shamru, b'nei Yisrael, et hashabat, la'asot et hashabat, l'dur tambarit olam, u'vayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, v'shamru, b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, l'dur tambarit olam. We rise as we are able for Hatzi Kaddish, and we'll follow it with a few words of the Amidah, and then silent devotion, silent meditation, prayer. This is will be your opportunity for private conversation with what you call the divine. Page 26. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'alma divarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dochol beit Yisrael b'gala Bagala uvizman kariv v'imavru amen. Yehishmei rabba mevarach la'olam olam me'almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei Kodesh Baruch Hu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Da'amiran Belma V'Imavru Amen. Adonai Sfatai Tiftachu Fi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open my mouth, that my lips may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara El Elyon Gomel Chasatim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Umevi Golel Livnei V'Neihem L'Ma'an Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Uvokei Tzara Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayeh Metim Atarav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach Umarid Hagashem Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Mechayeh Metim B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidom Melech Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'emanata L'hachayot Metim Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayeh HaMetim. We're going to do our silent prayers now, either from the book, from your heart, from your head, from your soul. Say shalom b'mromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, imaru, amen. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'al Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'al Yisrael, V'maru, this time from Persia. Purim here, Purim cheer, 'tis a holiday so dear. Mask and song bring along, Gregors loud and clear. Here go the Gregors, rush, rush, rush. Here go the Gregors, rush, rush, rush. Here goes the Gregors, rush, rush, rush. Gregors loud and clear. Hag Purim, Hag Purim, Hag Gadol Halayla Hudim, Masechot Rashanim, Smirot Rikudim, Havanarisha Rash Rash Rash, Havanarisha Rash Rash Rash, Havanarisha Rash Rash Rash, Barashanim. So welcome to a completely abbreviated Megillah reading. Because it's very abbreviated, I'm not going to do the blessings before and after. And I'll do only a little bit of it in Hebrew so that you can all understand the story. Vayhi bimei Achashverosh, Achashverosh, Amolech mehodu v'kush, Sheva v'esrim u'mea Medinat Vayamim Haem Keshevet HaMelech Ahashverosh Al Kisei Malchuto Asher B'Shushan Habira Bishnat Shlosh L'malchucho asa mishteh l'chol sarav v'avadav chel paras umadai apartamim l'sarei hamidinot L'fatnav. King Ahasuerus of Persia ruled over 127 provinces, from India to Ethiopia. In the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a sumptuous banquet for all his nobles and high officials, and it lasted for 180 days. On the 7th day of drinking and merrymaking, Ahasuerus ordered Queen Vashti to appear, so that his nobles might admire her beauty. But Vashti refused. Ahasuerus was furious. He asked his advisors what should be done for not obeying the command of the king, and his advisors suggested that Vashti be banished from the throne. There was a Jew in Shushan named Mordecai, who was an official in the king's court. His cousin, whom he had adopted, was among the beautiful maidens of Shushan, brought to the palace for a contest to choose a new queen. Her name was Esther, in Hebrew, Hadassah. Esther appeared before the king and won his heart, and he crowned her the queen of Persia. Soon thereafter, Mordecai overheard 2 servants, Bigthan and Teresh, plotting to kill the king, and he told Esther, who reported it to King Ahasuerus. The criminals were punished and the deed recorded in the king's book of records. And sometime afterward, the king promoted Haman to the position of minister. All those in the palace court knelt and bowed before Haman, except for Mordecai, who explained he was a Jew. Angered by Mordecai's refusal, Haman plotted to destroy Mordecai, his family, and all the Jews in the kingdom. Haman cast lots, Purim, to determine the day on which the Jews would die, and that day turned out to be the 13th day in the month of Adar. Haman persuaded the king to go along with his evil plan. He issued a decree, sealed it with the royal stamp, that the Jews should be killed on the 13th day of Adar, and the Persians could keep all their possessions. Now, Mordecai sent back word of the king's decree to Esther and begged her to go to the king and plead for her people. He said, "You are also a Jew. Do not assume that you alone will escape this terrible fate. If you keep silent, you will surely die. Perhaps you have become the queen for just such a crisis." And Esther agreed to go to the king. "Tell all the Jews of Persia," she said, "to fast for me for 3 days, and I too will fast. At the end of the 3 days, I shall go before King Ahasuerus." Vayehi b'yom hashlishi v'tilbash Esther malchut v'ta'amimot b'chatzar beit hamelech afnimit nochach beit hamelech v'hamelech yoshev al kisei malchuto v'beit hamalchut nocha petach habayit. On the 3rd day, Esther put on her royal robes and came before the king. "What troubles you? What is your request?" And Esther replied, "I would like to invite you and Haman to a feast that I have prepared." And at the feast, Ahasuerus again offered Esther whatever her heart desired. She asked only that he and Haman return for another party. Haman left feeling cheerful, but soon his mood was spoiled, for Mordecai stood at the gate and once again did not rise or bow to honor him. Haman confided to his wife Zerach and his closest friends that he could not enjoy his good fortune because of Mordecai, the Jew. Haman took their advice and went before the king about hanging Mordecai. But before Haman could present his evil plan, Ahasuerus asked him to suggest a way to honor someone who pleased the king. Thinking that the king meant to honor him, Haman proposed that the man be dressed in palace robes and given the finest royal horse. He should be led through the town square, and everyone should announce, "This is done for the man the king wishes to honor." "Quick," Ahasuerus said to Haman, "this you shall do for Mordecai." The king and Haman came to the second feast. Again, Ahasuerus asked Esther what she desired. "I'm ready to grant you half of my kingdom," he stated. And Esther replied, "If it please you, grant my life as well as the lives of my people, for they are condemned to die by the hand of a great enemy. The king became enraged. "Who would dare to do such a thing?" "Your Majesty, it is none other than Haman." Furious, the king ordered his servants to end Haman's life on the very gallows that Haman had built for Mordecai. The king explained that he could not revoke a royal decree, but he told Mordecai to issue a new decree. So Mordecai wrote in the name of the king that on the 13th of Adar, the Jews were permitted to fight back and destroy all who might attack them. And so on the 13th day of Adar, the Jews were victorious. Mordecai and Esther proclaimed that the Jews of Persia should observe the 14th and 15th days of Adar every year to remember how their mourning and grief had been turned to feasting and gladness. It would be an occasion for sending gifts to one another and giving charity to the poor. They agreed that these days of Purim would always be remembered among the Jews and their descendants. Ahasuerus appointed Mordecai to be second in command of all of Persia. Mordecai was highly regarded by the Jews, for he continually looked after their welfare. Ki Mordecai HaYehudim Mishneh LaMelech Ahasuerus V'gadol Yehudim v'ratzu l'rov echav doresh tov le'amo v'dover shalom l'chol zaro. We end with a little song. Ali Melech of Gilchafen drank l'chaim once too often, drank l'chaim and became a trifle gay. So he put his studies by, tipped his hat across one eye, and he called for his fiddlers to play. Well, the fiddler took his fiddle, put his bow across the middle. The fiddler fiddled out a little tune. When the fiddler with his fiddle fiddle diddle diddle diddle, Ali Melech bounced just like a toy balloon. Ali Melech, feeling frisky, took another drop of whiskey. Twice too often down his gullet did it go. Called each friend and each relation to his Purim celebration. Then he roared for his piper to blow. Well, the piper tweedle-tweeted and the fiddle it repeated. Fiddle-diddle, fiddle-diddle, diddle-dee. When the piper tweedle-tweeted and the fiddle it repeated, Ali Melech was beside himself with glee. Then he drank 3 times too often, and his eyes began to soften. The tears began to trickle down his chin. Oh, his ears, they were a-buzzin' till a sympathetic cousin whispered, "Please let the drummer begin." Well, the drummer's drum it beated, and the piper tweedle-tweeted, and the fiddler it repeated its encore. The drum was tweedle-tweeting, and the fiddler it was beating. Ali Melech fell asleep, began to snore. And it happened in Gilhofen, just from drinking twice too often. There's only one thing more that must be said. At your Purim celebration, use a little moderation, or you'll wind up with a Gregor for a head. when the drum starts tweedle-tweeting and the fiddler it is beating, and the piper gaily fiddles fiddle-dee, and your head it starts a-whirling like a Gregor that is twirling, then they're playing Ali Melech's melody. Hag Purim! Happy holiday! Okay, I'll take off my Purim hat. We're going to do Mishaberachs. So keep in mind all those in need of healing, those that you know, and even those that you don't know. We send our love and our hearts around the world. Makor abracha imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu makor habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say Amen. And we send those good wishes out across the country, out across the world, and up into the heavens. Prayers for those in need of healing and for all of their caregivers as well. We rise as we are able for the Aleinu on page 39. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tei gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, v'lo salmanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo somchelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol amonam. V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Page 42. And then all that has divided us will merge. And then compassion will be wedded to power, and then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind. And then both men and women will be gentle. And then both women and men will be strong. And then no person will be subject to another's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. Kakatuv b'tortecha Adonai yimloch לעולם ועד, ונאמר, וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who have died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own zikronam livracha. May their memories be a blessing. At Shalom Park, we are remembering in the coming week Tamar Booth, Lorraine Costello, Lila Sosin, Farah Abugova, Bernice Turner, Cecilia Cohn, Basil Aldridge, Edith Hillman, Henrietta Baker, Zelda Cooper, Fischel Epstein, John Foltz, Rebecca Ellis, Norma Lewis, Sonia Lifshitz, Clarence Renayan, Meryl Carl, Estelle Rubenstein, Matthew Lee, Gregory Tepper, Sarah Burke, Sasumu Yasuzawa, Evelyn Ferguson, Ann Boyd, Nettie Grohl, Priva Cohn, Robert Friend, Gilbert Hirsch, Edward Pringle, Frida Lubo, Jean Brown, Arnold Stein, Franklin Mack, Gloria Simon, Dorothy Kramer, Ann Nadler, Esther Brunkhardt, Sophie Ginsburg, Sonia Applebaum, and Carl Fendrich. If there are other people that you are remembering, please say their names now. If you are in the 7 days of Shiva, the 30 days of Shloshim, the first year of mourning, Shana, or if you are observing a yahrzeit, please rise as you are able, physically or spiritually. If it is your custom to rise for those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, please join. Kaddish is on page 45. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Ba'alma di v'ra chirute v'yamlich malchute V'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael V'agala u'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'almei almaya Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh V'yit hadar, v'yit ala, v'yit halal, shmei dekudsha barich hu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'meru. Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'meru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel, all who dwell on earth, v'imru. Amen. May the one who brings peace to the heaven grant comfort to all who mourn. And together we say, Amen. We take a moment to light candles, say Kiddush and Motzi. Okay, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And grab a different matchbox. See if I can light this match. Aha! Yay! Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava v'ratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit Ihu yom te'ilah lemikrai kodesh Zecher letziat Mitzrayim Ki banu b'harta V'otanu kidashta Mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. And Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Amen. And we finish with a song that I hope you'll be able to join the chorus. If you remember the verses, let's sing along too. Oh, once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. He would have murdered all the Jews, though they were not to blame, sir. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And Ashsamhum and Tashin. Esther was the lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. When Haman said he'd kill us all, my, how he did scare us. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And Ashsamhum and Tashin. Mordecai, her cousin bold, said, what dreadful chutzpah! If we could but invent it now, Haman we would shoot, sir. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And Ashsamhum and Tashin. When Esther, speaking to the king of Haman's plot, made mention, said he, no he won't, I'll spoil his bad intention. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And Ashsamhum and Tashin. Of all his cruel and unkind ways, this little joke did cure him. Don't forget we owe him thanks for this jolly feast of Purim. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary Libi and Nashsam Hum and Tashan. Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful weekend, a gorgeous week, and I'll see you next Kabbalat Shabbat. Purim.